British beavers are a rare sight. Centuries ago, they were hunted to extinction. Now, these slippery creatures are back, but not everyone is pleased to see them. Until around a decade ago, there were no wild beavers in the UK. Since then, they've been successfully reintroduced in Scotland. Now they're a protected species, so you can't lay a finger on a beaver in Scotland. Almost never, because landowners can and do have them legally shot. 1 in 5 wild beavers in Scotland were killed last year, 87 in all. But there is another way.
There's some relatively fresh gnawing.
This is Roisin.
So this is a beaver dam right here.
She steps in when people and beavers don't get along. Roisin is the only person in Scotland licensed to relocate beavers from what she calls conflict zones.
Beaver dams are very different in their impacts. So when they start to get closer to houses and infrastructure such as roads, then we do start to look at them a bit differently.
Champions of beavers say their dams slow the water flow of rivers, reducing flooding downstream. To others, they're a nuisance. Here in Tayside, they do leave their mark.
These are trees that we've protected with wire mesh here, and this will keep the beavers off quite robustly. But if you look here, here's one that wasn't protected. So beavers have gnawed all the way through. They're very capable of that, and they feed on the higher branches.
Roisin has been called to an estate that wants a beaver removed. It's trapped and taken to a holding pen at a zoo, awaiting its next move. So this is yesterday's catch, is it?
This beaver came in yesterday from a conflict site in Tayside.
What would have happened to this beaver had you not come along and trapped it and taken it here?
Lethal control is now permitted. So I try to work with those landowners that would wish to see them removed from their land in question to try and say, well, look, under certain circumstances, can we remove the beavers through live trapping and relocate them elsewhere?
Reluctantly, this beaver is going for a health check. Do you have to get hands-on at any point?
Yeah, we do, because these are big animals, and they can inflict wounds if out of stress if they really feel scared. So what we would do is restrain it properly, make sure the animal's safe.
It's the beaver's first trip to the vet.
It can be a female if she's
Hopefully, but then the last
Blood samples are taken.
sassy and aggressive, that was a boy.
And it's given a tag. Next stop, England. This one is to join a steady flow of unwanted Scottish beavers given new lives down south. There's been some controversy about taking beavers from their habitat in Scotland, moving them down to England. Now, those in favour say that's better than them staying here and getting shot. Others say, why not move them elsewhere in Scotland instead, parts of Scotland that are beaver free? But the Scottish government doesn't allow beavers to be relocated outside just 2 official areas in Scotland, leaving Roisin with limited options. Does this beaver want to go to England?
I would say the beaver is not aware that it's going to England. But I think we need to kind of have a stark choice in this situation. And I think the most positive thing we can do to restore this species is to make sure that we're moving animals from areas that they may be in conflict with landowners to better areas that both we can see the positives of beavers, but that they're openly welcomed.
A decade after such effort was put in here to bringing beavers back, some of these creatures will only stay alive if they leave Scotland for good.